What is up, Algebra 1? This is lesson 88. Our objective is, how do you multiply and divide rational expressions? Well, before we get into multiplying and dividing rational expressions, let's just talk about multiplying and dividing rational numbers. So remember, if you have like 1/5 times 2/3, you're just going to multiply the top and multiply the bottom. So it'd be 1 times 2 over 5 times 3. So that's going to be 2 over 15. Or if you have something like this, 3/4 times 2/5. Remember that 4 is the same thing as 2 times 2. So then you can reduce a 2 from the top and a 2 from the bottom. So you just multiply 3 times 1, which comes out to be, so I can say 3 times 1 over 2 times 5, which is 3 over 10. 3 over 10. So you can reduce from top and bottom. And we'll apply that same principle whenever working with monomials or any kind of rational expressions. So here, this is example 1a. First of all, I'm just going to look at the constants that are in front. So there's a 6, there's a 21, there's a 7, and a 3. So I realize first off that 3 goes into 3 one time, and 3 goes into 6 two times. I also see 7 and 21. 7 goes into 7 one time. 7 goes into 21 3 times. So as I'm simplifying this down, I'm just looking at just the coefficients, just the number part of it right now. On the top, I'm going to have 2 times 1, which is a 2. And on the bottom, I'm going to have 3 times 1, which is a 3. Alright, now, as we look through the top, let's look at just the x's. Notice x to the 4th simply means x times x times x times x, 4 of them. And then I have a y. Then over here I have an x times y times y. On the bottom I have an x times y times y times y. Over here I have x times x times x times y times y. So you don't necessarily have to do this, but I'm writing it out this time. So notice here, this x reduced with that x. I can reduce this one with this one with this one, and this one with this one. And I don't see any more x's on the bottom that I could reduce with the 2 on the top here on the right. So then I'm just going to write x squared, because there's 2 x's left right there. Now, similarly, I have a y here that will reduce with that y. I have a y here that will reduce with that one. A y that will reduce with that one. So the only thing left as far as y's are these y's right there. And so I'll just write that as y squared on the denominator. Clean this up just a little bit. I'll say this is 2x squared over 3y squared. And that is going to be my answer. I cannot reduce the x squareds and the y squareds, even though they both have a matching 2 on the exponent, because, well, these are x's and these are y's. And your x might ask why if you're trying to reduce those or something weird. Alright, let's do one more here. I'm looking at the numbers, and I have a 6 and a 3 on top, and I have a 5 and a 7 on the bottom. So I'm not seeing a way that I can reduce those. So then I'm going to say 6 times 3, which is 18. 5 times 7, which is 35. And then same thing with the variables. Notice all my x's are on top. I have 2 x's here and 1 more x there. And I have 4 y's here and 1 more y there. So then I don't have anything to reduce between top and bottom. So this is going to be x cubed on the top, right? There's 2 there and 1 there. And then y to the 5th, because I have 4 y's there and 1 y there. That's nothing.